You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
The madness. This is at the Yiwa clothing mall. Yeah. Oh, Bushiyao.
这个好的，
Yeah.
你们国外没有的。
Yeah, 我走路。谢谢。They even have a KFC and a McDonald's. That goes down for several blocks. Oh, the name changed. Jiafangdong. Somewhere. Oh, I remember that colorful building. I was on that road over there. Yep, so I'm one street up. Yeah, the women here like those leather pants. I think it keeps them warm. So I'm going to cut down this road here because that goes over to where I need to go. How about this, huh? With the map, right back to my hotel. Whammo. Straight shot. And as it turns out, that bridge that I came over on the airport bus comes right to my hotel, that road. I just stayed on this road all the way down. Alright. Good, this will give me a chance to just clean up before I go out for a bite to eat. I paid $142. This will be my third night here. First room they gave me, it was a smoky room, and it was disgusting. But because the heater didn't work, they moved me to the end of the building, which was much nicer. Cutting up sugar cane. What you do is you chew it like this woman here. She's eating the sugar cane. What you do is you keep chewing it until the sugar's gone and you're left with a mouthful of waste, of roughage, and then you just spit it onto the ground like she's doing right there. All right. Yep. I'm going to see if this restaurant has some vegetables here. Okay, well, this is the one of the neighborhood restaurants in the alleys. So I decided to give it a try since this is my last try. They have eggplant here, which is right over there. And they have pictures up there of some of the items. The lower right corner, the second to the lower corner, that's the eggplant. I was in the mood for some of that fatty pork. But you know what? This is going to come out family style, so maybe just the eggplant and a bowl of rice. I am hungry, but I'm not hungry for two people. They don't mess around here. Like, I asked her, I didn't even order, I just asked if they had it, and she went in and cooked it. Very good. All right. The other thing I want to point out is I just got a taxi from the hotel. You can see the taxis are letting people off here. My guy, I have plenty of time, I have an hour, so I wasn't making a complaint. He came in to the parking garage underneath where people arrive because he's a prick. And he didn't want to come up here and drop me off because there wouldn't be a fare here for him. So if you get a taxi and you are running out of time, make sure that they take you up to the upper level where you get dropped off for departures, not arrivals. See, the taxis in China, you know, they are hit or miss. Most of the time miss. This is 2 in a row in Hangzhou. At least this guy agreed to give me a ride on the meter. Alright, so it's 5:15 on Thursday morning, 12/1, December 1st. And I am picking up my ticket to go to Shanghai to get to Pudong. Yeah, see, this is the older train station. I've been here several times before. And I told the guy too, I asked him to drop me over near the tickets. But when I have extra time, you know, it's not even worth arguing with him over. You just walk the distance. He should have dropped me off right there, down there. See, I like going early in the morning because you see the difference? There's no crowd. Typically before around 5 a.m. this is what they're all doing, sleeping. So that's why I like traveling early in the morning anywhere, for that reason. The only issue is in some countries, like right now, China's subway system isn't running. Nicole tried to get the Chinese version of Uber, and they would not do it because it didn't make enough money. She goes on telling me for 10 minutes how great the Chinese version of Uber is and how bad the US version is, and then whammo. Alright, let me...你好。谢谢。不用谢。Now, if you see one of these, it means you're probably in Hangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing, someplace where foreigners go. You get out to the second, third tier cities, you won't have that. But if you see that, definitely go up to it. The other thing that I do, if I don't, is sometimes you'll see like a handicap sign, or even in English it will say disabled person's window. I consider myself disabled in China when it comes to the language. So if I see that window and it's shorter, I go right up to it, and I've never had a problem doing that. So this is, see, I told Nicole, see, this is the other thing, is a lot of the women, and this isn't always true, Ting Ting was very, very street smart. She knew the ins and outs of things, which is why I got along so well with her. But like Nicole, she knows nothing about how things work in China. I probably know more than her in many ways. And I said to her, I said, at this time in the morning, there's not going to be a huge crowd. And she said, no, you should go at 5 o'clock. And the only reason I did it is because, you know, I was asking for 5:30, 5:20. And I figured in the event that I'm wrong, I missed the train. So I'm here an hour early, so I'll just go sit and wait for an hour. Well, then you should not get involved in things that don't concern you, right?
I think there's no place.
Yeah, Ting Budong.
听得懂汉语吗？
Yeah.
我说你这样拍照是不礼貌的。
You should not get involved in things that don't concern you.
我说
Okay?
你这样拍照是
All
不
right.
礼貌的。
You go away.
You go away.
Yeah. And mind your own business. This time of day, they're only going to have one entrance open. So just walk over to where that is. And just a reminder, you're going to need your passport or your ID twice. Number one, to get your ticket. Number two, when you're checking in. They'll check your ticket against the passport. Or your ID if you have a Chinese ID. Okay, so I get in and I check the big board, and that will tell you which waiting room to go to. So I'm on G7358 at 610. So I go to waiting room 8, and you'll see they're labeled right down there. So you'll see they have an X-ray machine there. And yeah, I mean, this is primarily to stop people, since guns aren't that prevalent, it's primarily to keep people from bringing in knives and swords, because they've had knives and sword attacks in these places. So this is Hangzhou Train Station. This is the oldest station. They have a new one called Hangzhou East, which is where the fast high-speed trains go. Supposedly this is a fast train because it's a G. And I've been here, I've taken this train from here to Shanghai, I want to say 2, 3, maybe 4 times before. And in fact, let me correct that. One time I came here and they didn't have a fast train. I had to take a slow train. That's where I met Sergio, the Italian guy, on that train. And actually, I think it was Dajo. I forget the name of that small town where I met him. So anyways, this is a waiting room. And if you look down that window, you'll see the tracks. And in fact, one of the photos that I took is me doing the Karate Kid flying mantis there stance when I went there with Ting-a-ling-ling. But so you sit here, you wait, and then about 20 minutes, it's either 10 or 20 minutes before they'll let you in. You put your ticket through where you see the flashing green, and then it pops out the top. You pull it. When you pull the ticket, the gate opens and you go through. And then it's a mad dash of humanity going down to the deck, the platform. And that woman's selling whatever breakfast treats people eat here. I saw Bowser out there. I don't know what she has. See how quickly it fills up. Right now it's 5:54 on December 1st. Here we go. Must be 15 minutes before. See, if you have a seat, if you have a seat, you don't really need to do that, because you go down to the platform and then you have to wait for your train. A lot of times they have, people will bring audio version of that so they don't have to scream. Like out on the street, you'll hear that all night. where vendors on the street will put that on their carts and you just hear whatever they're screaming. Okay, here we go. And then you just find your car. You can see that on the side of the car are the numbers. So this is car 3. And I don't want to stray too far away. And there's usually an attendant on board. They probably don't speak English, but you can, and then you also can check what car number it is. See it up on top of the screen there. Right up there. So I'm in car 3, seat 6F. That's one of the slow trains. Might even have sleeper cars depending on where it's going. There's sleepers right there, the beds. Now we're going to be leaving right after them. Unfortunately, I missed it. Car 2 up there are 4.
欢迎您乘坐和谐号动车组列车，我代表全体乘务人员向您问好。本次列车为您提供自助式旅行服务，您可以参阅乘车服务指南或咨询乘务人员来了解车内服务设施的具体情况和使用方法。为了保持设备设施功能良好，请您在使用时多加爱护。本次列车全列禁烟，如有违反者，乘警将依据铁路安全管理。
This whole area is being developed. This is Jiashan. And just remember, when you come to the train station, you always go up to depart and you always go down to exit. So I'm going to transfer to the subway after I figure out which line gets me to Pudong. Metro line 2 lets you off at Pudong, and then it's like halfway between the two terminals, so you have to know if you're going to 1 or 2. Thing. All right. Terminal 1, I'm going left. Okay, so the maglev train is around here as well, the entrance. Alright, I gotta go. I remember this from before. I'm changing in People's Square, and it's a zoo. Absolute zoo. They packed them in like sardines here. So, as usual, I'm right, Nicole's wrong. I told her that it would have been better to go to Hongqiao, and she's like, no, this is faster. I don't think so. At Hongqiao, you get on line 2, and it goes from one airport to the other. You don't have to dick around with these changes. Because now you got to face this humanity getting on these trains. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. I do not want to be on an escalator. But it is what it is. That's why I always leave a lot of time if I have a choice. Because then, just going through the motions, you don't really have to worry about it. You know you have plenty of time, excuse me, to get there. Alright, signing off. See, I would have gotten on at Hangzhou half an hour ago, and I would have taken it. You have to make a change there, but then to the airport. But now you see, I'm at People's Square, and this is probably the busiest station in Shanghai. It's just, literally, it's, you'll see when the car comes. I'm the first one in line, and I'll have trouble getting on this car. The only positive thing is, you know, I saved what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stops at about 3 minutes apiece. It's a half an hour, so. But this is definitely not the better way to go. At least the trains are coming frequently. Look at how, see how full they are? So you just gotta get it on and push like hell. Because that's the way it's done here. If you're afraid to push, don't come to China. You won't make it. Good, wow. Hopefully a large contingent is getting off. There we go. There we go. Fun, fun, fun for the whole family. Then you, when you get to the airport, you get your boarding pass, and then you have to go through immigration inspection, and then you have to go through security check. So right now this is actually quite good. I've been here before where this has been full, so I should be through this in 20 minutes or less, probably 10 minutes, but I've been here before where it's taken over an hour. So that's why I always leave extra time. I would rather come here relaxed, and if I have to wait 2 hours, I'll have a book, or they have free Wi-Fi here. Now, she just told me gate 19, if you don't have a Chinese cell phone, you can get the passcode at gate 19, because my cell phone's out of minutes. And she said there's a machine there that will generate a password. All right, signing off. Well, I was very friendly with the girl who checked my bag. She's very nice. She put me in the emergency aisle and put me in priority lane here for no charge. So we'll find out how well that turns out in a few minutes. The plane is late boarding, but grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Haven't eaten today, so I'm looking forward to having a snack when I get on the plane. But the difference is these international flights, they typically will serve, I think, a small snack within an hour after getting up off the ground, once they're at cruising altitude. At least I hope so. Beautiful day to fly. Yeah, hopefully I'll sleep. Now, they said the plane wasn't that full, but I don't know. Looks like a lot of people to me. Okay, so this is the kiosk. What you do is you put your password, your passport, right in here, and you click on the scanner, and that prints out this ticket. Okay, right next to the massage place at gate 19, they'll print out a ticket for free Wi-Fi. You have to give them their passport. There's one way to do it. And then you enter the password, and it will come up to this login page, and you can either request a password using your Chinese cell phone, or you can get this code. It looks like I'm in. Yep, so it's working. The price of silver just got hit again. Okay, there we go. Wow.
Live long and prosper.